Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Hear Rich's forecast hourly on these Blue Water Broadcasting radio stations.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me on a very important Friday morning video as we bring you up to date on a high-impact winter storm that'll be affecting Alabama today. And for a lot of us, the worst will be tonight, and especially in the overnight hours tonight, could affect you in several ways. What I'm going to try to do over the next 3 minutes is give you the whole lay of the land. What are the watches and warnings as I make this? What can you expect over what kind of timeline? How will it affect your life? And by the way, even though this is as we're making this in the pre-dawn hours, we're going to be having updates throughout the day, of course. We're going to keep you on top of this with your weather app. Here we go. All right, this is the watch warning situation as I make this here pre-dawn, and you can already see the winter storm warning continuing in effect for Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers counties. And somewhere in the winter storm warning area, 2 to 3 inch snow and sleet accumulation is likely. Winter weather advisory for most of us for a wintry mix, including an icy impact along the I-85 corridor. More on that in just a moment. Already rain breaking out central and south Alabama on the radar early this morning, and it will become more prominent during the daytime hours today. Look at the snow swath coming into North Mississippi and Arkansas. That's a completely separate system from the low-pressure system moving along the northern Gulf Coast, which is our winter weather maker, if you will, riding along the edge of the cold air and heading out into the Atlantic. That track is very critical to our forecast. So a rainy day today. I think temperatures will be hovering in the upper 30s. The wintry mix becomes more prominent after 6 o'clock tonight, and late tonight after midnight, it becomes serious. And then the European at noon already showing a mix of precipitation, places like Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, even at noon today. And I think the freeze line moves closer to us by 6 p.m., and I think after 6 p.m., the mix becomes much more prominent across central and even southwest Alabama at that hour. And then, of course, things deteriorate, and by late tonight, the mix becomes more serious as the temperature continues to fall, and we get into maybe an icing situation as well. So the overnight hours are going to be very, very critical, and travel is going to become pretty much impossible in some areas. The European by 6 o'clock in the morning shows that most of the precipitation has exited the area, so it'll be a quick exit, we think. And the GFS accumulated snowfall is just ridiculous. I mean, it shows a swath of 6 to 10 inch snows right through central Alabama into Georgia. That's a little extreme. So the European is more reasonable, showing maybe some 1 to 2 inch amounts and maybe a little bit more east central Alabama and into Georgia. That's more reasonable. How about a blend of all the models? Let's put them all together and make some sense out of this, all right? Maybe 1 inch around Birmingham, maybe 2 to 3 inches in the winter storm warning area, less than an inch here in central Alabama of maybe some sleet and snow. So it looks like that's a more reasonable scenario. And then the accumulated snowfall gets heavier as you get into North Georgia and especially into the Carolinas, where some prolific amounts of snowfall are possible. What I'm most worried about is ice. And there could be 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation on the roadways and also on power lines and tree branches, and that's going to be the problem right along the I-85 corridor, right through Montgomery and in through Macon County and over towards Auburn. We're having to watch that very, very carefully. Sunday morning, a bitterly cold morning, a very cold day, too. In fact, the coldest air we've seen in a long time. These are wind chill factors showing around 11 in Montgomery, 15 around Troy, 5 up there where it thinks there's snow will be on the ground around Tuscaloosa County, I should say Tallapoosa County. So the high temperature on Saturday only makes 37 after a morning low of 27. 21 Sunday morning with a high of 43, and 25 Monday morning with a high in the upper 40s. We will start to warm up on Tuesday. Bitter cold winter blast. Look at some of these temperatures the European are posting as far as highs in the upper 30s on Saturday. But look at the recovery later next week into the 70s, maybe Thursday and Friday, according to the European, and the GFS pretty much agreeing at a big recovery later on next week after this weekend cold blast. So, some reasonable temperatures around the way, but we have a very, very cold weekend to deal with here. So stay on top of all the weather all day long. I'll have my blog post there, hourly conditions, hourly forecasts, and current conditions, radar, future radar. It's all on your weather app. And please get it today for your smartphone and for your tablet. And have it ready and tell your friends about it, too, because it's going to come in really handy with push notifications during this winter weather event. Oh, and one more important update. At published time for this movie, the winter storm warning has been expanded westward, include places like Hale and Perry County and Tuscaloosa County. So the winter storm warning has picked up a few more counties across north central Alabama. And the winter weather advisory remains the same for most of us, but some counties have been added in west and northwest Alabama as well. So those are the updated changes right as we're publishing this movie. So throughout the day and tonight, there will be updates, frequent updates as needed to bring you up to date on the changing situation. And that'll be done on my weather blog. Now, the weather blog goes to your app, and there'll be push notifications as needed. I'm not going to blow up your phone, but when you need to be notified, I will. Also, the weather blog goes to Facebook and to Twitter. So it goes out to many places. And by the way, we'll be talking about it this morning on News Talk 93.1, obviously, and also on Bama Country, and your changing forecast across the entire Blue Water family of radio stations as needed for updates throughout the day and tonight across 8 radio stations. All right. So stay in touch with the latest weather situation. We hope you stay safe, and there'll be more as the day goes on. Stay with us, okay?
Rich Thomas Weather.